What's up, family, and welcome to another video on my channel. And in this video, I kind of want to tackle the subject of does loving God enable relationship toxicity? And so, of course, before we jump in, I want to remind you to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Consider hitting that alert notification bell so you can get notified. Think about joining our community either through Patreon or directly through YouTube. And consider volunteering in that community. And we also have really cool merch. So, let's jump into this. The topic of this conversation, this discussion, this lecture, if you will, is, I kind of have this thesis or this hypothesis that loving God prepares you to make excuses for relationship toxicity. Let's start by highlighting a few of the unspoken realities that we're creating when we indoctrinate people towards believing that they are in a loving relationship with God. Here are some of the things that we're encouraging them to do. Love someone who will not show themselves to you, no matter how hard you beg. Love someone who will not speak to you. Love someone who will take credit for everything good in your life. Love someone who will verbally and physically torment you for noncompliance. Love someone who will consistently test your love for them. Love someone who insists that you are incapable of love or life without them. Embracing an ideology that conditions people to accept and even rationalize harmful behaviors as part of a divine or loving relationship can have profound implications on their interpersonal relationships. Here's how such an ideology might lead someone to excuse toxic behaviors in their relationships with others. And be sure that I have quite a few here. The first one is really in the normalization of unhealthy behaviors and the impact that this has on expectation setting. If individuals are taught that love involves enduring hardship, pain, or mistreatment without complaint, they may come to view these experiences as normal aspects of any relationship, not just their spiritual ones. And then even love may be redefined to include suffering and sacrifices in ways that are absolutely unhealthy. This skewed perception can make individuals more likely to tolerate mistreatment from partners, family, or even friends because they sincerely believe that this is what love looks like. But not only do we have the normalization of bad behaviors, we also have the justification of abuse to consider, especially when we consider our own divine justifications. If someone believes that a supreme being tests their love through suffering or hardship, they might also believe that their human loved ones have similar rights to test their love in harsh or abusive ways. Believing that negative treatments are meant to teach or improve them might lead individuals to misinterpret abusive behaviors from others as intended for their benefit or growth, which is a real issue for young ministers. But then there's also the issue of dependency and control that we should consider, especially as it pertains to learned helplessness. Constant exposure to the idea that a person is nothing without a particular figure, whether divine or human, can and in many cases does foster dependency. This can make individuals more susceptible to control and manipulation by others who may claim to know what's best for them or assert that they cannot manage life alone. This also often leads to the fear of abandonment, the fear instilled by the idea that one cannot exist independently might even make individuals cling to relationships, even toxic ones, out of fear of being alone or incapable. But this also impacts or impairs self worth, leading to self esteem issues. Consistently being told that one is inherently unworthy or always in need of guidance can severely impact self esteem. This might make individuals more tolerant of disrespect and abuse, as they might feel that they don't even deserve better treatment. And then if sacrifice is glorified as a virtue, people may start seeing their suffering in relationships as a noble and necessary part of loving someone, which can really prevent them from addressing or acknowledging abuse, or even addressing or acknowledging their own needs in a relationship. This often leads to a difficulty in recognizing abuse. Continuous exposure to the idea that love involves significant trial and testing might blur the lines between normal relationship challenges and outright abuse, making it harder for individuals to recognize when they're actually in a harmful situation. Individuals might use their spiritual beliefs to rationalize or excuse the harmful actions of others, believing that these experiences are tests of faith or tests of loyalty. This also obviously will impact decision making. Constant messaging about the virtue of selflessness can lead to prioritizing others' needs to the detriment of one's own well-being, even when the other's party behavior is harmful or exploitative. And believing that one must always show unconditional love might make individuals avoid confronting issues or even asserting boundaries, which is detrimental in any relationship. I think many of us who are on the healthier sides of relationships can look back on our own lives and see that. Understanding and addressing these implications is crucial in helping people foster healthier relationship patterns. Encouraging critical thinking about the messages they receive and their implications can help individuals develop a more balanced view of what healthy love and relationships should look like. Therapy, education, and support groups can be valuable resources for those struggling to disentangle their beliefs from their experiences of abuse or toxicity in relationships. But these were just a few things that were on my mind that I wanted to share, because I think that these are areas that don't often get talked about, and these are damage. This is damage that often gets overlooked. And so I definitely wanted to bring a little bit of something to the conversation. I hope you enjoyed this. Of course, if you did, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, share, engage, all that good stuff. And we have a bunch of good stuff for you in the description. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Until next time, keep rising, stay progressive, and stay beautiful. I'll holler at you later.